Thanks again for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Hey, I want to let everybody know that they can help the Grove Collective in their campaign they're calling March to Victory. What is March to Victory? Well, it's a bracket-style competition pitting regions of the country against each other for raising money for the Grove Collective, NIL, and Ole Miss athletics. Their goal is $10 million in the month of March and 10,000 members in the Grove Collective. You can check them out at thegrovecollective.com/march to victory. That's thegrovecollective.com/march to victory. And you can see exactly what's going on there. Hello, I'm Stephen Willis from the Locked On Ole Miss podcast. And I'm joined by Tim Thomas, former player at Ole Miss. And we're getting towards the end of the basketball season. So that's pretty interesting as well. But how are you doing, Tim?
Doing good, doing well. Looking forward to Ole Miss playing in the SEC tournament Thursday night, and hopefully we can bring home a win. We had a rough last few weeks, been rough.
Yeah, and like I said, it reminded me, I think I said this on one of my podcasts, it's real close to the 2022 football season. The 2023 basketball season kind of went that way.
Yeah, good reference. I heard you about that. Exactly. Yeah, it's started off really, really well, and then for whatever reason, I think Kiffin may have it worked out. It seems like he's got it worked out, but it's a year-to-year thing that Beard and Kiffin, all the guys, Bianca, everyone, every sport is going to have to deal with these attitudes and efforts and all that, and especially Beard right now is having to deal with that.
Yeah, and I don't think it needs to get lost. You know, Chris Beard got an extension because Ole Miss won 20 basketball games this year after winning 3 SEC games a year ago. So the improvement, even though it might not have ended the way that people want to see it ended, that still is a mighty big jump from year to year.
Yeah, Beard is a real deal. We've talked about it all year, and he's had a great year. And I agree with the contract extension. I believe that's the right thing for Keith Carter to do. Just like Kiffin did, he revamped his team, and he did it a different way. Brought in people to support, to help with this portal deal, attitudes and effort. That's what I just said that, but that's what it's all about. He said it the other day in the post game. You cannot coach attitude and effort, and that's something they're going to have to really work on and be real strict. And when they look at these portal guys, they're going to have to do a better evaluation. They're going to have to do a better interview process. So it's going to have to – they're going to have to do things better because this year, towards the end, it was a travesty.
Yeah, and the players of the big core of this team was involved Alan Flanagan, who I don't think he's coming back. He did senior day. Obviously, Matthew Morrell, who was probably the most talented player on the roster, even though for whatever reason he wasn't the alpha dog in the room, but he was probably the best player. That leaves Jamin Brakefield, who has said that he has not played his last home game at Ole Miss. So that tells me he's coming back. And I think Juju Murray also has an extra year. And I don't think Juju is going to the NBA. So I can probably count on him coming back. Brandon Murray is going to be well positioned. It looks to me, with those players coming back, Chris Beard needs to concentrate in the transfer portal on the big man, on the front line. They need a couple of brawlers and somebody that can score the basketball up close.
They need some beef eaters, right? They need some guys inside that, like we said, take up space and really are tough. The ones I got is probably definitely leaving. And Morrell's already said he's going. Sharps, he don't have any time left. McGrath, a walk-on guy, he don't have any time left. In Flanagan, everybody else is open. Cisse has a COVID year. Brakeful had a COVID year, has a COVID year, and all the other ones are juniors, sophomores, freshmen, and so forth. So a lot of guys on the team. I don't know who might stay, who might go, and I don't know who Beard and his assistants decide they may not want some of these guys. The way they play defense, their attitude, the way they've positioned herself on this team. It's close to a pro type team as Kiffin always talks about. I was hearing that Nick Saban and his wife went up to Capitol Hill and did some talking, word about these guys getting paid. And I think there may need to be a cap maybe on this, but getting paid a little. Saban got his millions, right? He's got beach houses every other corner. So, him saying that is a little hypocritical, but I don't know all the details of what he said, but I understand that there maybe need to be a Cap Kiffin that's talked about it. But these guys, it's a lot about the money, guys, right? It's about the money. The love of money is the root of all evil, but we all got to have it to get by. And at the post game, Beard was asked, is Brayfield coming back? Cisse coming back? And I don't know, you guys that might have watched it, Beard took a while. He was trying to calm down. His blood was boiling. He had a couple of phrases there. He said, I shouldn't be talking when I feel this way. But he said the only guy that's coming back for sure is Muggs. That's Cam Brent. So the only guy he knows is coming back who plays Ole Miss basketball the way he wants it played, with the effort and the loyalty, the pride, that type of thing. That's that right now. Cam Brent's the only member of the team. So we'll see what's happened between now and this game tomorrow night against Texas A&M again. We'll see how things go. He may have got them on this team now. Maybe they're playing better. And we've talked about it. Maybe they'll want to play an IT game if they get their stuff together. If they don't get their stuff together, they play like they did the other night. I don't think he'll take an NIT bid. I think he'll be NIT bid. I think he'll just go on, start working on the portal. But who's to say? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about this deal. The NIT that used to be a reward for the kids, now it inhibits you in recruiting the portal whenever you could be spending energy. If you're trying to get into that next step, NCAA tournament, you probably want to be there because there's going to be really good players available that are getting eliminated right now in their conference tournament. And Ole Miss probably needs an alpha dog. They need to find a frontline number one scorer. They need to find a big that can score the basketball. And they probably need to find that 6'7", 6'8" like defensive genie type player. I think that is where they need to be focusing on, and the NIT is going to take that focus away. So that's the reason I think that Chris Beards probably would turn down an NIT bid regardless of what happens.
Maybe you may be right. I'm not sure which way they're going to head. I haven't heard. I see both sides of it. I understand. If you have guys that, the younger guys that need to play and experience, like see playing a game or two, hopefully at home, game or two, and maybe the other guys, the older guys that really don't care, maybe they'll just move on. I can see that side, but you're right. It's kind of the day to sit where it's all kind of comes together, and you got to bring visits in and all. So it's conundrum. I don't know exactly which way they'll head, but if they play well, if they play like they want to play and act like they're kind of showing off for the pro scouts, that's what I would think. I mean, it's your last game. You always heard the phrase play for the name on the front, not the name in the back. I like what Beer said. I don't know if some of the guys, I read some things, they didn't catch it. They didn't catch what he said. He said that, yes, but he also said play for the name on the back also. Willis, Thomas, reputation, pride, loyalty. How do you want your name, your last name? What does Morrell think? What about Flanagan? How do they want their name portrayed in the pro scouts and in the life in general, their kids? How are people going to look back at their last name? Think about it. Your last name. How important. You tell your kids, don't do anything that'll ruin your reputation, right? And this is it. He made that statement. A lot of people didn't catch it. I caught it, and it's a very good thing. And it's he's I bet he said it pretty good in the locker room. That's a pride thing, a loyalty thing, and NIL, love of the money. I understand all that. That's definitely one of the things. But your reputation, the pride for your family name, that was big. That's what I caught.
As the conference tournaments have wrapped up at the end, there's people that's been going in the transfer portal already. A couple of names that people need to pay attention to. The first one that I'm going to tell you back, his name is Tyron Cook out of VMI. He's received interest from over 35 programs, including like Maryland, TCU, Oklahoma State. So it's kind of heady waters, South Carolina, Mississippi State. He is a guard. And also I'm looking for another one because I forget his name, but he was one of my favorite players off of Kermit's last team. And I'm trying to see where he is because Ole Miss is kind of like his best offer And what is his name? This is terrible pod. I'm sorry. But there's so many that's going into the transfer portal. I can't find it on the website.
There's a lot of them on there. You looking through there. I did some of that myself, and I was going to kind of wait and try to see who they really working on before I really did any depth stuff. But
well, there's another NIA player, NAIA player from New Orleans.
I saw that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that is averaging 22 points and about 16 rebounds a game at the NAIA level. Ole Miss is well on his list. He is a name to watch, and I was just trying to figure that out. He started playing basketball when he was 26 years old.
Oh, I saw that. That's cool.
And by the time he graduates, he has 3 years of eligibility left. He'll end up at 29 years old. Like I said, these names, I can't find them.
He's got to get some scores. I'll talk a minute while you look at it. He has to get some scores. Morrell leaving, Flanagan leaving. That's 2 big scores we got to get. I think Juju will stay if him and Beard and the coaches have a good. Is it an exit interview or is it a end of the year appraisal? Their jobs now, contracts, maybe not contracts, but they really are. So how are we going to win? Let's talk about that in a minute. How are we going to win tomorrow night? Hey, it's feasible to talk. Let's talk about it. SEC tournament. A&M, we just played them, man. We know what to do to beat them.
Don't give up 50 rebounds.
That's a valid point. 50 to 21. Beard said 50 to 10. He wasn't sure. He said that's how it felt. But he was very
like
mad.
50 to 20. Yeah.
Yeah, he was very disturbed. It was good to see because I felt the same way. Maybe not as bad as he did. I don't get paid $3.5 million, but it was good to see that he was very mad, very upset. He may have lost his team for the year. He's 31 games in. I think you use the word work in progress. Culture, still working on culture. Discipline, still using the word discipline, doing the same thing over and over again. That's what it takes. You got to block out every time. You got to get loose balls. You got to 50-50 balls. You got to play defense, man. You got to be effort. You got to have effort. And these last couple of weeks, it hadn't been shown that I've seen. They're going to have to go in and be mentally tough. They're going to have to be laser focused. They're going to have to be tough on every play, defensive end and offensive end. I don't know if this team is able to do it. They have so many bad habits. They have so many bad habits. I don't know if they can stop. And I guess you could say they're lazy on the defensive end, and they upper hypers. they really want to go on offensive end.
They're allergic to loose balls. Is one thing they are.
Yeah, every once in a while you see them get on the floor and all, but it's not normal. Everybody wants to say, "Hey, you get it, you get it." I've seen times on rotation issues, just several times. Easy rotate. If this guy goes up and he comes over, you got to rotate back, and they don't do that. And I saw Morrell and Breakfield look at each other the other day like, "Man, what happened? Where were you? Where were you?" And no captains, no leadership. That's the issues that we got here.
The player's name is Jamal Gibson. He's out of Southern University of New Orleans on the NAIA. 21 points a game, 15.8 rebounds, 2.3 block shots, 1.1 assists. He has 3 seasons of eligibility remaining. Ole Miss, North Alabama, Youngstown State, Howard, and VMI are hot on this prospect at the moment.
Can he play defense?
I guarantee you this guy will get after.
Sounds good. Sounds like it's a guy that Beard would like. He likes those type of guys. He brought up the Cam Brent, had him in there for the interview. So he likes that kind of guys that put forward maximum effort, both ends of the floor.
Thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Tim Thomas, former player in this Locked On Ole Miss world. He is an Ole Miss legend to me.
Okay.
And we will talk to you at least one more time because we're going to get a wrap up. It might be an exit interview type situation. Or if Ole Miss somehow gets into the NCAA or NIT, we will continue this as we're going on. So anyway, Tim, thank you very much, and you have a good day, man.
All right, good deal. Appreciate it, Steve. Enjoy doing this. Enjoy your program and show every day.